Why do so many great men end up in the friend zone? It seems like a lot of women want to go for the rebels, the guys who cause all the problems and break all the rules. What kind of insanity is this? Let's look to the wheel of life for some answers. The wheel of life is the key to all the other medicine wheels. Each direction has a meaning. The wheel starts in the south with perspective. Our perspective makes a huge difference in life. It sets the stage for our success or failure. The friend zone problem is one of perspective. Children learn what they are taught and by observing. We grow up paying close attention to the predominant culture for clues about the way the world works. This is how we learn what's expected of us in life. Sometimes this does us more harm than good. You may have heard me talk about the victim, persecutor, rescuer triangle. Our upbringing often sets us up for this kind of toxic relationship, as well as the dreaded friend zone. Many young girls are taught that they're weaker, so men need to protect them from harm. This is seen as a positive thing, something to aspire to. Little girls are taught they need a strong man to protect them. Good men rescue women in need. In the movies, these men are the ones who aren't afraid to go out on a limb to get the job done. They aren't the patient gentlemen towing the line to win the approval of those in power. At one point or another, we've all come across an obstruction in our path, someone or something that was undermining our objective. Wouldn't it have been great to have someone in your corner, a best friend, not only to say something encouraging, but to go out on a limb and administer a little justice? It's the insubordinate ones that draw a young woman's attention, because this is the kind of guy who would be willing to take action on their behalf. Nice guys don't want to rock the boat or get into trouble. Our TV shows and movies teach young girls that if she ever needs rescuing, she'd better have a boyfriend willing to break the rules. They set us up for this type of behavior. Some women feel like they can't survive without a partner. They can even feel like they aren't safe or even whole without their soulmate. Weakness and femininity often go hand in hand in our culture. A strong woman who is tall is usually not considered as feminine as a short woman who is frail. We can get taught some really toxic things. Some girls get the impression that they should pretend to be weak, to be more attractive, and so they don't scare off any guys who may be interested in them. They may even go so far as to deliberately lose a game or to appear to be helpless. Disney has done a lot to perpetuate the damsel in distress myth. The princess must be rescued by the handsome prince. They fall in love and live happily ever after. Of course, this rarely works out in real life. It's exhausting to constantly be needed. Some men get tired of the pressure to fix all the problems, and they might even feel like they can't take any time for themselves. When someone needs you, they're basically using you. Anyone can fulfill that need. This means that you can be replaced at any time. When someone loves you, they love your mannerisms. They love the things you say and do, the things that are important to you, your personality. These things can't be replaced. Rescuing relationships are based on low self-esteem. That's why it's most often seen in young people. It's a constant triangle of victim, persecutor, rescuer. One day, an unreasonable coworker is the persecutor. The woman may comfort her partner and take his side. She takes the rescuer role. In this case, the man would be the victim. The next day, it could be the woman who's upset, perhaps over a conversation with her mother. The man takes her side and becomes the rescuer. It's these frequent confrontations that keep the relationship going. Without this dynamic, it falls apart because it isn't based on mutual respect between two emotionally mature people. Once they don't need each other to boost their self-esteem, it's up to love to keep them together. If they're only with each other because one person was too afraid to be alone, or because the other wanted to be needed, this can be the end of the relationship. When we teach our young girls that to be pretty and feminine means being weak, we do everyone a huge disservice. If she's just waiting for her prince to rescue her, she isn't empowered. Her self-esteem will suffer, and it sets her up to fall in love with the first guy who comes along to defend her. Now, this could be any brute looking for an excuse to fight, and not someone who genuinely has her best interests at heart. It sets young men up to feel like they have to wait for a confrontation, or perhaps even manifest one. Fight the aggressor and win the girl in order to be a man. They have to rescue a damsel in distress. If he needs this to feed his self-esteem, he may feel threatened when she becomes more independent in the future. He might think she doesn't need him anymore if she can do things on her own. This can lead to all kinds of toxic behavior. Some people will deliberately gaslight their partner to keep them weak and in need of support. Others will invent situations to test their loyalty. As long as there's always a persecutor, the couple feeds off of each other. They're working together against a common enemy. Without this adversary, their relationship may fall apart. This union is based on need and low self-esteem. This is such a common scenario. It's no wonder that most marriages end in divorce. When one partner matures to the point where they don't rely on the other for safety or self-esteem, all that's left is pure love. And if that was never really there to begin with, the relationship is over. When we don't feel like we need to be saved by someone else, we're free to find true love. Need is not love. Needing someone is not loving them. Desperate people trying to survive need rescuing. Strong, independent people are free to choose to be with someone or not, and that's when true love can flourish. So, being in the friend zone means that the girl you're interested in really isn't mature enough for a real relationship yet. I know that doesn't help much. But the good news is that there's hope for the future. Would you rather be needed because someone is afraid of being alone? Or would you rather be loved by an independent person who simply wants to be with you? Keep in mind, anyone can fill the shoes of a rescuer. Being loved for your unique qualities means you're irreplaceable. This is an easy trap to fall into, male or female, gay or straight, when being single feels like being a failure, or when you're simply uncomfortable when you're alone. It's easy to become involved with the wrong person. Desperation puts us in a very vulnerable position. It's not uncommon to find people who have gone from one bad relationship to another for most of their adult life. If we can be comfortable when we're alone, if we have enough self-esteem to wait until we find the right person, we will live a much happier life. Thank you for watching.